Hey guys, it's Destiny, and with Acheron being recently released, today is another showcase day, and I'm going to show you guys today some Acheron and Welt teams in memory of Chaos 12. And if you guys do enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe and leave a like to support the video. But before we begin, let me know in the comments down below, what is your favorite food? For me personally, I would probably say sushi. I've just always been a huge fan of sushi and the combinations that you could do with the sushi in general. So yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So we're going to be starting off with our Ruan Mei, Welt, Pela, and Acheron team, and I'll also show another variation of this team as well. And we're just going to start off by using our techniques on Yangqing here. What I like to do with Pela is just skill on whoever, of course, has the Crimson Knot stacks, but also so I can guarantee that Pela gets her ultimate. The Trotter is going to be a little bit scared of what's to come, honestly, but it's okay. It will maybe die peacefully. Probably not, honestly. I'm sorry, Mr. Trotter. This is going to be an unfortunate turn of events for you. What we're going to do now is just skill with Welt here. I'm actually going to use Pela's ultimate right here, just so we can actually weakness break the Mara guy right here. And what I can actually do is just immediately use Acheron's ultimate. He wasn't even able to summon his minions. So we're just going to deal a good amount of damage. And actually, real quick, I am holding Good Night Sleep Well for those that were curious. And if we were to look at the Mara guy over here, he just has a bunch of defense drops. He has the slow down. And yeah, he's going to suffer a lot of damage from this. So there we go. And then we did get off the Trotter. The Trotter did die, which means now they have some damage over time onto them. I'm just going to skill the horse because the Mara guy is essentially dead. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to basic attack the horse. Oh, the horse is almost down, but it's okay. So the Mara guy didn't even get to summon anything, which is really good just for the survivability of the team. So we didn't have to take his first hit. And honestly, what I'm going to do is, part of me honestly just wants to replenish this. And then with Welt, what I can do, I think the basic attack might actually kill. Yep, it killed. Okay, perfect. So now we do have Crimson Knot stacks on Yangqing, and he did get pushed down. So this is pretty nice. I'm just going to skill with Pela. And now what we can do, let me check. Can Ruan Mei actually get enough energy? No, she cannot. Okay, it's fine. So what I'm going to do is just basic attack. And then with Welt, I feel like it's such a waste to hold it, but I actually do want to hold his ultimate, so when Yangqing summons his swords, we're able to handle that. I'm just going to skill, and unfortunately, I didn't really hit Yangqing. I was hoping that I could weakness break him faster, but unfortunately, Welt's hits didn't really go onto him. But it's fine. What we're going to do is he's going to summon his swords, and I'm going to immediately use Welt's ultimate and just push the swords down, then use Pela's ultimate. And we are actually able now to get Acheron's ultimate in a second here. So now we're going to use that Pela ultimate and boom. Okay, we got the Acheron ultimate. So I'm just going to deal a bunch of damage to them. So there we go. And his swords, yep, his swords are gone now. So this is really good. Now what we could do is just basic attack with Pela. With Ruan Mei, I could just basic attack here. We're also just going to use her ultimate just to get off her field. And now with Welt, just use his skill. We're going to do a bunch of that weakness meter. With Acheron, I'm just going to use her skill, and we're just going to take advantage of how many skill points we have here. So with Pela, what we can do is I'm going to basic attack, so I'm able to use Ruan Mei's skill again once she comes up, and then also use Welt's skill as well. Okay, we are going to take a bit of damage here, but I think it's going to be a-okay. Yep. And the Trotter is scared once again. And with Ruan Mei, we're just going to use her skill because I want to replenish the damage buffs that we're able to get. With Welt, you know what? Yeah, we're just going to use our skill. We still didn't break him. Holy crap. Oh my goodness. It's fine. With Pela, we're going to use our skill here. And I'm going to weakness break him. And we were able to get our ultimate. And there we go. Yangqing is literally, it's kind of over for him. He has all these debuffs. Oh my goodness, this is so many debuffs. And then he also only has 5% health. I'm sorry, Yang, but I had to do this to you. And there we go. Yang is now gone. He officially is just gone. He disappeared from my screen. No more Yang. And now we have Sam. I don't know if Bronya can honestly hold her own against Sam. Maybe she can. But let me show you guys another Welt team just to show you guys the power of the delay party with Acheron. And then I can go into our builds and explain some reasonings as for why I use these comps. So for the other team we're going to show, if I'm being completely honest, it's basically the same team. It's just I wanted to show you guys Sparkle. Show you that Sparkle's also pretty nice on this comp. Just for the additional crit values that she's able to give. Okay, we have the Crimson Knot stacks on the Mara guy, which is pretty nice. So we're just going to do the same thing as before. We're going to skill with Pela just to guarantee that we're going to get that ultimate. Advance forward Acheron. Now use Acheron's skill. And then with Welt, we're going to use Welt's skill. I'm going to wait for the Mara guy to summon his minions. There we go. And then with Acheron, I'm also going to use her ultimate right after Pela, just so we can take advantage of all those defense drops. So we take a quick look at the Mara guy. Yep, he has a really good amount of defense drops, which is awesome. And then if we take a look at Acheron, we have a lot of crit value thanks to Sparkle, and we also still have good Night Sleep Well on. So let's hope that this does a bunch of damage, and boom! Okay, that was really good. That was really good. Okay, so the Trotter is gonna go down, which is awesome. And honestly, we need to focus on this guy a little more, so that's what I'm gonna do here. Just gonna focus on him a little more. He hits Sparkle, which is actually perfect. And now what we're gonna do is advance forward Acheron, use Sparkle's skill. Acheron's skill should be easily able to kill the Mara guy on the adjacent. So we're just gonna use her skill right here. Okay, just in case, I'm gonna spam Welt's skill, but I believe in Welt to hit the proper enemies. Okay. Oh my gosh, that scared me. I thought for some reason the little minion was still gonna be alive, and I was like, no, out of all things that could happen. Okay, we're fine though, guys, we're fine. So what we're gonna do is now skill with Acheron, just get more stacks, and I'm gonna use Welt's ultimate the moment I see those swords pop up. Okay, Welt ultimate time. We're gonna push these swords down. I don't wanna deal with them, so we're just gonna push them down immediately. And now what we're gonna do with Pela is basic attack, and now we're gonna use her ultimate, and now we can use Acheron's ultimate. There we go. And now let's check all the debuffs that Yang is gonna have. It's an okay amount. And then with Acheron, okay, we do have our Pioneer set kicking in, which is awesome. And now, hopefully, let's see if we can get 1,000,000 damage. Can we get 1,000,000? Yay, we got 1,000,000. Now what we're gonna do is push forward Acheron. I'm gonna use Sparkle's ultimate. Now I'm mixing up characters. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're gonna use Sparkle's ultimate there. Got our skill points back. And now with Acheron, we're gonna use skill. Oh, he's at 1%. Okay, we got this. Pela for the win. Pela. I believe in Pela. Pela, kill him. Kill him. Oh man. Okay, we didn't kill with Pela, but you know what? It's perfectly fine. Like, I also count it as she killed him because she was the last one who attacked. But let's just go over our builds real quick just so you guys have an idea of what I was using. So for Acheron, here she is. She is using Good Night Sleep Well. Here are her stats. Traces, maxed out, relics, pioneer, and the new planar set. Eidolons, she's E0. And now we also have Welt over here. And Welt is holding Incessant Rain, but he could definitely hold light cones such as before the tutorial mission begins, his own light cone that increases his effect hit rate and attack, and also damage if I'm not mistaken. Welt has a good amount of options, honestly, with what you can use. He's 888. For the relics, he is also using the Pioneer set because he can take advantage of the additional crit rate and crit damage, as well as the additional damage dealt to enemies with debuffs. So this is just so Welt can do his own fair share of damage. He has an okay amount of crit rate, amount of crit damage. I would prefer these to be higher, but this is not the best Welt, unfortunately. It is E0. Then if we were to go to Sparkle here, Sparkle is at 160 speed. Here are her stats. She is holding signature light cone, which does help with the crit values, but if you don't have this light cone, you can use an option like Dance Dance Dance. Dance 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 is really nice because this will be able to advance your team forward in turn cycles, so you might be able to actually go once again with all your characters. So that could be an awesome option. She is maxed out here, E0, and then for her relics, she's just holding Musketeer and Broken Keel. Broken Keel is just nice for the additional crit damage for the team, and of course, the Musketeer set is mainly just for the speed. I just wanted the 160 plus range, so yeah. And then we also have Pela. Pela's at 143 speed. She is holding Resolution Shines as Pearls of Sweat, just so she can do the Ensnared debuff on enemies. For her traces, 10-10-10. For her relics, Wind set and the Von Quack set. I really like the Wind set on Pela because in moments where you might need an additional skill point, it's just really handy when she advances herself forward, because then you might be able to just use a basic attack and still have skill points left over for the rest of your characters. And it just allows her to cycle more as well, which means she'll be able to regenerate her ultimate faster, as well as inflict debuffs more often, which is beneficial for Acheron. She is E6, and for our last character, it would be Ruan Mei. Ruan Mei is a little bit on the slower end, but it's fine. She has 178 break effect, and then here are just all her stats. For her light cone, it is signature, but you don't have to use her signature. You can use other light cones such as Memories of the Past, and there are alternative options as well. She is 10-10-10. For the relics, she is on the Messenger set, which can come in handy when you want to advance allies forward, but I would recommend more so the Thief set or maybe even the Watchmaker set more. This is just what I had on her for the time being. I think I actually forgot to swap her relics around, but it ended up working out in the end, so it's perfectly fine. This Ruan Mei is E0 as well, so every 5-star was E0. And overall, they performed really, really well. I am really happy with how she performs with Welt, and the reason why I really like Welt and Acheron is because Welt is able to act as a pseudo-sustain if your team is, of course, strong enough to handle the attacks that are coming at you. If you are fighting someone like Sam, it's probably way more difficult to honestly get this to work. For your Welt builds, you can probably go either a slow build where you prioritize primarily getting your slows off on the enemy. When you do break enemies as well, this can be really handy if you do have some break effect on him. But if you want, of course, a more offensive Welt, then you can go with the crit stats on him. There are just multiple builds that you can honestly do with Welt. It's more so up to your personal preference of what you're trying to do with him. I just like using the characters that are able to inflict a defense drop in particular, because the defense drop benefits Welt's damage, it benefits Acheron's damage, and even the character technically that's doing the defense drop, it benefits them too. If you build a more offensive Silver Wolf or more offensive Pela or more offensive Black Swan, then they can also benefit from their own defense drop for their own damage potential. So as a result, you just have a really hyper offensive Nihility team that also has a Harmony character that can support them. I like Sparkle in particular on the team because Sparkle is able to provide the additional skill points, which means you can spam your skill more with your 3 Nihility characters on the team, this including Acheron and this also including Welt. And of course, the crit value that Sparkle is able to give Acheron is highly beneficial because Acheron really values really high crit values. Having near 100% crit rate is always awesome on Acheron because missing crits with Acheron honestly sucks, but if you don't miss any crits, you just get your maximum damage output. And then when it comes to Ruan Mei, she's awesome with Welt, especially because both of them work together to just endlessly, okay, maybe not endlessly, more so they just delay enemies so much that by the time they get to move again, they're most likely dead anyway. So Ruan Mei and Welt make for a great sustain pair where you definitely don't need another sustain on the team. Ruan Mei is able to provide team-wide buffs, which benefits Welt's damage, it benefits Acheron's damage. It can also benefit, of course, that third Nihility character you have on that team, whether it be Black Swan, Silver Wolf, Pela. It truly can be anyone. I just personally, once again, have that preference for the defense drops. But yeah, that's really it. These characters are really nice to use on Acheron, and I do personally think Acheron can definitely benefit from either no sustain or sustain, but for those that are, of course, looking at sustaining options, I always recommend characters like Fu Xuan, maybe even Fire MC, You can also use March 7th. You can use Japard. And once we get a Venturine, you can also use him. But yeah, I have spoken enough regarding the comps. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video showcasing Acheron and Welt and just how Welt is able to effectively delay enemies so that you will take, some damage here and there, but you'll be able to use him as a pseudo sustain, which is one thing I really like about Welt in particular, and still be able to take full advantage of the Nihility wants that Acheron has so you can get your maximum damage output. Do let me know what showcases you guys want to see next. Let me know also in the comments down below what your favorite Acheron team is currently. And if you did enjoy, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.